Coming up next, a former prison inmate is one of those pushing for change at a local jail.
One of my nightmares is about being in there and wanting to see the sun, wanting to feel the air on my body. And I hated that.
Plus, the high cost of college, how a new partnership is helping Penn State students.
The cost of tuition and textbooks has really kind of put a burden because you're already taking out significant loans for tuition itself.
And why Christmas trees have been so hard to find this year in our area, and why the cost is so high. The Center County Report starts now. Good afternoon, I'm Matt Noah.
And I'm Samantha Saucier. Thanks for joining us for the Center County Report. We start with breaking news. A serious crash in State College has closed part of Atherton Street. Police say South Atherton is shut down between Allen Street and Old Bollesburg Road because of the three-car crash. Here's a photo from our crew on the scene. As you can see, all of the cars had significant damage. They'll expect it'll be closed for an extended period and are asking drivers to avoid the area.
An investigation is underway into a prison inmate's death in Center County. SCI Benner Township says the inmate was found unresponsive in his cell yesterday. 35-year-old Raymond Ortiz was given CPR and taken to Mount Nittany Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead. There's no cause of death yet, and state police will conduct an investigation.
A group of local human rights activists says it's unhappy with conditions at the Center County Correctional Facility, and the group is pushing for change. Alina Lebedeva finds out why.
Irvin Moore knows firsthand how tough life can be in prison. He spent 52 years behind bars.
One of my nightmares is about being in there and wanting to see the sun, wanting to feel the air on my body. And I hated that.
He served his sentence for murder, and now in his mid-70s, he's free and living a productive life. He's also an advocate for prison reform. Moore and others are pushing for change at the Center County Correctional Facility. Their mission? Giving inmates access for an outdoor space for exercise.
As a human being, there are certain things that he's required to have. Fresh air and sunlight are just a couple of those things.
The facility, built in 1962 in Bellefonte, is lacking an outdoor recreation area. Instead, it has what's called an urban yard.
So what they have instead is a series of gyms connected to each housing unit. At the end of one of the walls of the gym is a very wide garage door, which lowers from the ceiling down several feet in order to bring in outside air.
Janet Irons from the Pennsylvania Prison Society says her organization has been pushing for an outside yard for at least the past 4 years. Center County Correctional Facility Warden Christopher Schell did not agree to an on-camera interview, but he shared a recording of the last Prison Board of Inspectors meeting, where outdoor recreation was one of the key items on the agenda. According to the information presented at the meeting, 8 inspections show that the jail is in full compliance with state law. The law requires jails to provide inmates with at least 2 hours daily physical exercise in the open weather permitting. If the weather is inclement, each inmate shall have 2 hours physical exercise daily indoors. Irons and Moore believe their request is about human rights while inmates serve their sentences. They hope to educate the public and have advocates at Prison Board of Inspectors meetings. In Bellefonte, I'm Alina Lebedeva for the Center County Report.
There are an average of 221 bookings every month at the facility.
Questions and reactions are swirling after Penn State's new president announced plans to reunite the university's 2 law schools at the Carlisle location. This change would effectively close University Park's law campus. According to the proposed plan, the Lewis Katz Law Building would be repurposed, and the School of International Affairs would also have to find a new permanent home.
Seems like there's a lot of students that take a lot of pride in being in the school, and there's a community here that's essentially going to be eliminated.
A panel will consider the proposal and is expected to issue a final recommendation in the spring. The Board of Trustees then makes the final decision.
College costs are higher than ever for students and families. And it's not just tuition, but reporter Anna Meyer tells us about a local program that may help take the sting out of some costs.
To help students struggling with financial stress, Penn State's University Park Undergraduate Association has partnered with Students United Against Poverty to provide school supplies for the spring semester.
I think that's a great idea. I know as a student, funds are really low.
UPUA has almost $4,000 in supplies to hand out for free, including testing books for the LSAT and MCAT. Many students say it's a tough time financially.
So being a college student, financial stress is definitely something that I've thought a lot about. The cost of tuition and textbooks has really kind of put a burden because you're already taking out significant loans for tuition itself.
According to a recent study done by educationdata.org, the average college student will spend anywhere from $628 to $1,471 on textbooks annually.
I probably spend a few $100s a semester on just textbooks for various classes, and yeah, I would definitely say that affects whether or not I'll go out for an extravagant dinner with my friends.
President Joe Biden talked about the issue recently.
The cost of education beyond high school has gone up significantly. The total cost to attend a public four-year university has nearly tripled in 40 years.
The Biden administration still hopes to implement its student loan forgiveness plan, but that's now heading to the U.S. Supreme Court in February. Andrew Milanowski has applied and is approved if it goes through.
I have a ton of debt, especially with private loans, so even the smallest amount can help, but unfortunately, that's being battled in court.
Critics argue the Biden plan oversteps his authority, and a half a dozen states have sued to block the plan. In State College, I'm Anna Meyer for the Center County Report.
The estimated cost of the Loan Forgiveness Act is $400 billion over the next 3 decades.
A popular downtown State College restaurant is reopened after the health department cited multiple violations and shut it down. Ava Brengord has the story.
Known as one of the popular late-night pizza spots in downtown State College, Canyon Pizza has reopened after a 2-week closure.
It was a rough 2 weeks, I didn't know where to get pizza.
According to an inspection report from the State Bureau of Food Safety, Canyon Pizza had 13 health violations, from soiled employee bathrooms to pizza trays not clean to sight or touch. This note was posted on November 15th and signed by the borough's health technician. But now Canyon Pizza is back open, and most college students aren't too worried about the violations.
Pretty happy. I went back this weekend for its opening, and the workers there are always really, really nice, so I kind of felt bad for all of them for those 2 weeks it was shut down.
I'm very happy that they're back open. I love the $5 deal. Can't beat it.
I feel like after you go out, you get Canyon.
Yeah, I feel like they have a loyal fan base.
Co-owner Matt Florovit told the Center County Report he's ready for a new beginning.
I'm glad we're back open. I'm glad everything got fixed that needed to get fixed, and we're kind of trying to institute some new policies and some new rules and clean out the garbage that was here and start up new, pretty much, I guess.
Yeah. Following the 2-week closure, Canyon Pizza quietly alerted downtown residents and locals of their reopening by posting a sign on their front door. Reporting in downtown State College, I'm Ava Brengord for the Center County Report.
The Pennsylvania Bureau of Food Safety has made no other comment about the reopening.
Looking for the perfect real Christmas tree is a tradition for many families around Central PA. But with inflation and other factors, finding and buying a tree has become a lot harder. For many families, the holidays mean getting together, spending time with loved ones, and enjoying traditions like cutting down live Christmas trees. But this year, prices are way up and tree supply is way down. Emily Zink, manager of Tate Farm in Center Hall, says 2 years of COVID changed everything.
During quarantine, everyone came out for a tree, and it just wiped out the whole industry because we didn't plant accordingly. And because it takes 7 to 8 years to have the crop ready, we are still 2 years, 3 years later, and probably even next year, just short trees. And there's nothing we can do about it.
For many families, cutting down a live Christmas tree is tradition. But as costs rise and there are less trees, some may have to cut this out from their budget. Some places are even shipping in trees from as far away as Canada, which also increases cost. At least one tree farm in Center County also closed, and there are less trees available at others. People like Chris Cunningham have noticed the difference, but are trying to keep the tradition alive.
The prices have gone up, but I understand it's, just cost of living. So we still do the live cut tree. I know many of our friends are doing the artificial tree, and we like having a fresh cut tree in the house.
Local tree farms say they know it's tougher for everyone.
We do honestly feel bad about cost and about the size of our trees. We don't have many tall trees because they all got wiped out during quarantine, and we're working really hard. All the farms are to try to keep our supply up.
The farms say they're doing their best to keep the holiday traditions alive. As far as tree prices, that depends on the size of the tree, but customers in State College area are seeing some prices as high as $125 to $130.
And will the weather get us in the holiday spirit? We check the 7-day forecast next.
Plus, the end of the road for a high school team shooting for a state championship. Also coming up, a longtime Penn State landmark is selling pieces of its history this week.
It's been a hotel for almost 100 years, and it served as student housing during the pandemic. Now the Nittany Lion Inn on Penn State's campus is closed, but this week the doors are open one more time for a special sale. Josh Portney has the story.
Nestled at the far end of Penn State's University Park campus, the Nittany Lion Inn has been a landmark for decades. And this week, former guests and others can purchase their own piece of history from the inn. Lion Surplus is cleaning the hotel out before the end of the year, and as the resale store manager, Glenn Feigley has an instrumental role in the process.
I think they need it out so they can renovate the hotel, is my understanding. So they need to get it out here so they can start renovations.
Almost everything is for sale to the public, from beds, nightstands, and artwork, to lamps, dressers, other furniture, and more. The special sale is going on from 9 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. daily, until Friday. The historic hotel took on a new role during the pandemic, as it was utilized for additional classroom space and single occupancy housing for on-campus students.
I lived here last year, and I was just excited to see that they were selling stuff. I mean, I was sad to see the inn going, but I wanted to see what they were offering.
In June, the university announced the sale of both the Nittany Lion Inn and the Penn State Hotel and Conference Center to the Scholar Hotel Group. That company also owns and operates 2 other hotels in State College. Penn State said earlier this year that the Nittany Lion Inn would probably remain closed until 2024. In University Park, I'm Josh Portney for the Center County Report.
On the other side of town, the Penn State Hotel remains open during the hotel sale and transition to new ownership.
Good afternoon, and thank you for tuning in. I'm student meteorologist Joey Walker with your CCR afternoon forecast for today. Now, we have a very dreary Tuesday on the outlook for today, and that's because of a cold front currently sitting over portions of western Pennsylvania and the Great Lakes, such as Erie. Now, that's currently causing a southwesterly flow, which is funneling in a lot of moisture off of the coast into Pennsylvania, allowing for conditions like these behind me in State College to occur even all across Pennsylvania. But right now here in State College, finally seeing that rain tapering off, left with some overcast skies, but 41 degrees, and it does actually feel like 41 here in Happy Valley. Temperature-wise across Pennsylvania, very average for this time of year within the low to mid-40s, although we do have an exception with Scranton and Philadelphia within the low 50s. Now, radar and satellite right now, here's a live look at where that rain is. It's mostly in eastern Pennsylvania, and that's because of that a southwesterly flow coming up, funneling all of that moisture into the state, allowing for that rain to fire up within central and eastern Pennsylvania. But if you direct your attention to western PA, you may be wondering why there isn't any rain there. Well, that's actually because of the Allegheny Mountain Range, which is keeping all of that moisture mostly over in eastern and central Pennsylvania, and because there isn't nearly as much in western PA because of that mountain range, we're actually seeing some clearing, but still wouldn't actually rule out the chance for a shower or two. Futurecast, though, we are expecting some showers later tonight as well as throughout overnight. Now, they are going to keep tracking eastward, but if you're within the eastern PA area within Philadelphia, Allentown, or even Scranton, and you're traveling home along the I-81 corridor, you're definitely going to want to make sure that you're accounting for some hazards because there are going to be some pockets of heavier rain. But tomorrow morning as well, southeastern Pennsylvania, you could be waking up to the chance of some rain as well Wednesday morning. But going throughout, we are going to clear by later on. So for today, 42 degrees with some rain showers possible with winds southwest. Now going into tonight, that rain will continue and we will actually have some calmer winds, but by tomorrow we do actually change up the winds from a southwest to a southeast, which is going to allow for some isolated showers and some higher temperatures as well as some clearing. So for Tuesday and Wednesday, we have that isolated and scattered showers, but for Thursday, we're going to be staying cloudy. But for Friday, rain showers, and Saturday, we are going to be going. But for Sunday and Monday, we are going to clear out just in time for the weekend.
Well, Joey, with all that rainy weather, it might be a great time to watch some holiday movies.
Absolutely.
And sports like basketball and hockey are also indoors, so you could catch a game. And now let's hear from Reagan with some sports.
Coming up in sports, Penn State's volleyball team keeps on winning. We see what's next for them in the NCAA tournament. And we look ahead to Penn State's trip to a top-tier bowl game and why the future looks bright for the Lions. I'm Reagan Stoddard with sports. Penn State football fans have a lot to be excited about. The Lions are heading to the Rose Bowl on January 2nd. For a team that started unranked and suffered 2 frustrating losses, there's now a lot to be optimistic about. Katie Braun looks ahead.
After starting the season unranked, the Nittany Lions are 10-2 and smelling roses. 11th ranked Penn State will play Pac-12 champion Utah in the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. Audrey Snyder of The Athletic believes Penn State has a shot to do something they haven't done all season.
This is a chance for them to get a signature win that has eluded this team all season.
The bowl announcement is just one of the good news nuggets in recent weeks. Olu Fashanu, projected as a high NFL draft pick, shocked many fans by saying he's returning next season. And freshman Nick Singleton won Big Ten Freshman of the Year. It's all giving the team and fans optimism for next season and beyond. StateCollege.com's Mike Poorman thinks Penn State will remain ranked high going into next fall.
I would anticipate Penn State's a top 8, top 10 team going into the preseason in 2023.
The college football playoff will also expand to a 12-team format in 2024, and highly touted quarterback Drew Allar and running backs Nick Singleton and Katron Allen will keep gaining experience over the next 2 years. Snyder mentioned that a lot can change fast in the college football landscape and to take it 1 year at a time.
2023, 2024, you should be a really good program. But I'll kind of caution it with this. 2 years is an eternity in college football.
In University Park, I'm Katie Braun for the Center County Report.
The Rose Bowl is set for January 2nd at 5 p.m., and you'll be able to listen to the game live on Penn State Com Radio with our broadcast team in Pasadena. To high school football now, where the State High Little Lions playoff run is finally over. They lost in the state semifinals on Saturday. Joe Callahan Jr. takes you to the sidelines.
The State High Little Lions roared into Altoona with a mission to atone for their state playoff loss in the same destination last year. They came in after a roller coaster of games, including a triple overtime win in the first round over McDowell. This time, they'd faced 10-2 Harrisburg en route to their first state championship since 1975. Unfortunately, Mansion Park Stadium seems to be their kryptonite, as they fell 27-7. While the Lions lose key seniors for the future, quarterback Finn Fremenek and receiver Dante Nastasi for an example, the future of this team is still bright. Their legacy will live on in the mind and through the teachings of head coach Matt Lintel.
Just the resiliency of these kids. It's through struggle that we grow, and these kids, it looked like we hadn't had struggles at 13-0, but we did. We had the ups and downs, and that's what built the character of these kids.
But Lintel says not being able to coach the seniors is still the worst part of his job.
I love these kids. They feel like my sons. They give so much to each other and so much to our program. They're so much fun to be around every day.
Looking ahead, State High doesn't lose all of its key players. Its biggest retention is phenom running back Deontay Sheffy. The Bell Cow back rushed 208 times for 1,680 yards and 24 total touchdowns. The best part, he's only a freshman. With back-to-back District 6 championships and 2 deep state playoff runs in a row, it seems that State High will remain in good hands. I'm Joe Callahan Jr. for the Center County Report.
Out after the whistle, staff and crew thank State High as well as all District 6 teams for allowing us to cover them throughout this season. Women's volleyball will hit the road to Wisconsin this week after they dominated the first and second round of the NCAA tournament this past weekend. Penn State swept UMBC Friday night with players like Zoe Weatherington, Allie Holland, and Kashana Williams having a total of 23 kills and 14 blocks combined. Saturday featured a tougher battle against UCF, but once again the Lions stood strong and won the match 3-1, advancing to the regional semifinals. Williams and Weatherington again led the team with 17 combined kills. Their next match is on Thursday. Penn State men's hockey will also be on the road later this week to play Notre Dame. The Nittany Lions split their series with Ohio State over the weekend. Despite getting out to a fast start thanks to Kevin Wall's shorthanded tally, the Buckeyes earned a split, taking Game 2. Saturday also marked the return of a popular annual event, the Teddy Bear Toss. Fans threw stuffed animals on the ice, with all the animals going to help fawn families. Such a great event. That's all for sports. Now back to you at the anchor desk.
Thanks, Reagan. Coming up next, Santa Claus is already coming to town. Check out more Christmas festivities in downtown State College.
Downtown State College held another holiday season event over the weekend, the annual winter-themed First Friday at MLK Plaza. The event featured all sorts of holiday fun, like free popcorn and hot chocolate, a Christmas ornament light display, and of course, pictures with Santa Claus. Visitors got a tour of the downtown lights and evergreen tree at the Allen Street Gates by trolley ride. The event was sponsored by the Downtown State College Improvement District.
That's all for today's newscast. We hope you'll join us Friday for our next local news update.
But you can follow us for breaking news and watch our stories on the Center County Report social media. You'll find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and our website. Have a great afternoon.